Welcome to Golden Ogre's Metroid Beginner's Guide for the NES. Previously, I created a 7-chapter guide for the NES version of Final Fantasy, so I thought I'd give Metroid the same treatment. If you're interested in that Final Fantasy series, I'll leave a link in the description. The purpose of this guide is to give you the tools to turn on Metroid and beat it without any special tricks, glitches, or cheat codes. Metroid is not a linear game. You don't need to go in the same order as I do, and to be honest, this game is meant for you to explore. But with that said, it's easy to get lost, and beating this game is more about navigation and finding the power-ups. The instruction manual is really helpful. Although the map it includes isn't the best, it does show you the general gist of where to go and why you are there. There aren't a ton of enemy variations, and there are only a couple of bosses to defeat, so let's start the game and get going. When you first launch, you are equipped with a short distance gun that shoots up and straight ahead, and the ability to jump. Luckily, your first power up is just to the left. The Marumari, aka Morph Ball, allows you to roll on the ground by pressing down. Up or the A button will return you to your normal stance. From here on, just go right. You have extremely low energy, so take your time and kill everything you see. The yellow crawling enemies are called zoomers, and they only take 2 hits. A red zoomer takes 4 hits and is faster. The enemies that fall from the ceiling are called scree. They only take 2 hits, so take your time. If you miss, they land and detonate, causing damage. Shoot the blue door to open it. The cracked blocks are breakable, but not yet, so continue through to the next door. Make your way through the next area and kill yourself some enemies. Hopefully when you defeat them, you can fill your energy back up by collecting the energy spheres. If you made it this far without the Morph Ball, you'll soon find out you cannot progress. Luckily, we already took care of that. The next enemy swoops down at you. They're kind of a pain. When it gets to Samus's height, it swoops in her direction. You can stand underneath and it will miss. Also, when you jump, it will go back up to the ceiling. Use this tactic to take it down or avoid altogether. There are different areas with specific names in the game, and right now we're in Brinstar. I like to call this vertical area Shaft 1. Brinstar has 3 shafts, so keep that in mind when it's time to backtrack to any of them when I mention it. There is 1 door to the right and 2 on the left. We'll be coming back soon to deal with the doors on the left, so for now let's take the first door on the right. When you climb, you'll notice you have 2 types of jumps. If you press left or right first and hit the jump button, you'll do flips in the air. If you jump without moving, you won't. The non-flipping jump has more control, so use it if you're having trouble controlling the character. Also, if you stand on the ledge, you can shoot up at the zoomers. When you see the door on the right, take it. This will lead you to the next shaft, or shaft 2. This one has 3 doors on the right. I call them upper, middle, and lower. We're going to go to the lower door first, so drop down safely, or if you have a ton of health, just drop down on the right side. We're just going to go a little bit of a ways to the right in this area. When you get to the section where the flying enemies come out of a pipe, you can grind for some health here. If you're having trouble getting past the area, just leave an item in the air. More won't come out of the pipe unless you collect it or it disappears on its own. The first missile pack is to the right, so snag it. This will give you your first 5 missiles. Press select and you'll change color indicating your missiles are active. Don't forget to turn off your missiles so you don't waste them inadvertently. Also, make a mental note. To the right is the entrance to Norfair. It's the location of the second mini-boss. We're not ready for that yet. We need more power. Now we have a choice to make. We can either go to that middle door and collect some goodies, or we can head back and get another power-up at Shaft 1. I'm choosing to head back and get that power-up, so let's head over and go up the first shaft and find the first door on the left. Make sure you have 5 missiles because they're needed to open the red door we're going to find. Once you see that door, hit select and use 5 of your missiles. Also, make sure you don't let those enemies crawl in the door with you, because they will attack you. If you're low on health, you could die while you're in the door. Not fun. Inside, you'll get the long beam, which goes full screen. Nice. Alright, now let's make our way back to the second shaft where we were before and take that middle door, which is the first door you see as you enter that shaft. Make your way to the right and avoid the bottom area. If you fall down, your energy will drain fast. If this happens, make sure you wait until you sink to the bottom and then jump. It's the best way to get out safely. When you see your first door, there's a small room with an annoying enemy that flies up and down. Do your best to avoid it and continue. The next area is a little shorter. Now continue on, and at the next door is another small section like before. This second section is important. We'll come back to it soon, so just continue on for now. The next section has your first energy tank. Before, you could only have 99 energy. Now you will have a square that holds an additional 99. Sweet. Collecting it also fills up your energy too. Now keep going until you see the next door and you'll find that third shaft. Keep in mind you will need another 5 missiles to get to this next area. Go up and find a door that's just to the left and enter it. If you still don't have enough missiles, you can try and defeat those Rios. Those enemies, they drop down and come swooping at you. The trick is to get right underneath them when they swoop down and follow them with bullets. Sometimes you'll only get energy and it's really frustrating. If that happens, try leaving the area and coming back to reset things a bit. Once you have enough missiles, open the door and collect your next goodie. Shoot the statue and collect the bombs. When you're rolled up, hit B and you can set off up to 3 bombs at a time. They could do a few things like kill enemies, destroy breakable blocks, and since you can't jump while being the ball, they could bounce you up a little bit too. Now we're gonna backtrack a bit and use the bombs in a new area. Also, you'll need to restock your missiles on the way there. Go back into the shaft and go down and left, back to the lava room again. Continue left, and when you get through the next door, you could use the bombs to go underneath. There's another section just like this that's to the left. Don't go down there, you'll get stuck. There is a way out, but it's not fun. Head over to the left area and throw a couple bombs down. You'll break through the floor, and you can drop to the bottom and take the door to the left. Just like before, if you don't have 5 missiles, you're going to have to restock up to get past the red door. Once through that door, go ahead and shoot the statue and get your next power-up, the ice beam. This weapon is great. The first shot will freeze the enemy, and the second one will unfreeze it and do damage. It might take twice as many shots to kill them, but if they're frozen, you can jump on them, which is extremely useful. There's another weapon called the wave beam, which is super strong, but you'll have to come back and get the ice beam again at some point because it's vital for the end game. You can only have one at a time, unfortunately. Now exit the room and head up. The area you bomb through can be shot through from the bottom. For whatever reason, I have never been able to jump through it, so what you want to do is to try and time it so the block appears as you jump through and the damage will boost you up. Now at this point, our goal is to go left, back to the second shaft, and go to the upper door. There's some goodies we want to get. Now what I'm going to do is just how I play the game. You don't have to follow my path, but I'm going to kill myself and go back to the beginning. With the ice beam, I can get an energy tank. After that, then I'm going to head over to that second shaft and go to the upper door. Having extra tanks is the best way to survive in this game, and if you're a beginner, you'll want as many as you can. You can choose to wait till later in the game using it to refill your health before taking on the final dungeon. That is also an excellent option. Now this next part may take you a few tries, but it's worth it. From the beginning, go right until you pass the room with the breakable blocks. We'll come back to this room, so make note of it. Continue through, and when you see the two zoomers, or the crawlers I'd like to call them, let them make their way past you and up to the ceiling above. Slowly go to the right until you see the wall you would normally roll under. The trick is to freeze one on the fourth sprite from the bottom so you can shoot the ceiling to uncover the energy tank. It's a bit tricky, so if you mess up, just try again. Freeze on that spot, shoot the tank, and jump straight up, moving slightly to the left a pixel or two so you can grab it. It's a little bit tricky, but you'll get it. Alright, now we're going to head to that second shaft and take that upper door now. This room has tons of annoying enemies, but keep pressing on. When you see the 4 pipes, try and take the top one if you can. You'll take damage no matter what. Worst case scenario is you'll have to jump out of the poison. Now the next door has a small room. Quickly head to the center area and shoot up so the bug flies in. If it does, freeze him before he goes off screen. Now jump up, unfreeze him to free his flight and get to the top. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes and he might come back down and you'll have to start over again. Too many shots will kill him, so be careful. Now do your best to find a nice low area to freeze so you can take that door. You might not have 5 missiles, but you should be able to grind the next room. Once you have those 5s, open up the door and you'll get your next power up, the Varia suit. This suit reduces damage by 50%. Very nice. Now just make your way back down with some bombs and head through the right door. Continue through a ways and you'll find another missile expansion. Now you'll get 5 more than before. Continue on and find the dead end, except there's an invisible wall. Go through it and continue. This small room is pretty annoying. You'll need to turn into a ball and blast it to a gap up a few sprites. You can also freeze the enemy in the right spot and morph on him, but sometimes it hurts too much. Just spam bombs until you find the gap and the next area will have an energy tank. Now we're pretty much done with this upper and middle section. Now, but what we want to do is head back to that spot in the very beginning that I told you to make a note of. It's far away and you're stocked with energy, so you can either track back, slowly kill yourself, or if you're able to, you can pause the game and use the second controller to soft reset the game with up and A. Keep in mind that you will start with 30 energy, just as if you died. Now, if you chose to reset the game or kill yourself, you'll start at the beginning and the very next door has the room with the cracked blocks. Make sure you have at least 5 missiles again before continuing at this point. We'll get more soon, but you'll need at least 5 to start. Now blow up the bricks and head all the way down and take the door to the right. This leads to the transporter that goes to Kraids' lair. If you did a reset and you're low on health, don't worry too much because when you die, you'll end up right at the entrance of the lair again. I do recommend filling up your health before tackling Kraids' lair. It'll be a little bit smoother if you do. This is the perfect time to end chapter 1. Hopefully you're enjoying the guide so far. Let me know in the comments and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. I'd really appreciate it. And in the next chapter we're going to complete Kraids' lair. See you there.